administrators, faculty, and staff welcome you, our guests, to this Arizona State University commencement. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Michael M. Crow, President Crow.
Who in the stands, the family members, is ready for this to be over? How about those that are graduating? Are you ready? So I just want to take a couple of minutes, not too long, just to talk a little bit about what we do here. What is ASU? What's our mission? What are we trying to accomplish? In the United States, there's about 5,000 institutions of higher education. Of those 5,000, 150 are like ASU. They are research universities, which make us unusual then in the mix of institutions that produce people with bachelor's degrees, freshly minted graduates. These 150 schools approach the process of teaching through the process of linking teaching, learning, and discovery. It's been something that's been moving forward in this particular intensive mode for the last 150 years, and ASU is a newcomer to this group, a fast mover in this group, and it's an institution which is working to master in new ways this integration of teaching, learning, and discovery. Each of you have worked with faculty members who are knowledge creators as well as teachers. Each of you have worked with faculty members that are great synthesizers of knowledge in addition to being teachers. Many of you have worked with tremendously creative faculty members in the arts and in other subjects. And you bring all of this together, and this is what makes a research university. Now, there's only 150 of these in the United States. And of those 150, only a tiny handful of these schools are as deeply committed to the public purpose of accessibility as this institution. What does that mean? What does that mean? Talent, regardless of its family background, family income, regardless of where you grew up or what kind of school that you went to, if you have talent and you have drive and you have energy, we have a home for you to learn, and we have a very broad student body, and you, the graduates of this class of 2013, are the broadest student body that this institution has ever graduated. Now, to be one of these schools, one of these 150 schools committed to teaching, learning, and discovery, and driving teaching and learning through our discovery, to be one of these with our intensity and our commitment to accessibility requires an absolutely unique faculty. I'd like the faculty of Arizona State University to stand up so I can say some things to recognize your achievement. Now, our faculty, we have a tremendous faculty and a tremendous staff that support this faculty. And this faculty is committed to our objective, which is to be an institution measured by who we include rather than who we exclude and what they achieve. A university measured by the impact of our discovery and our research, and a faculty committed to the success of this community in every possible way. And let me just mention, for those of you here as students and those of you in the audience, some of the things that this faculty has achieved this year. Here's what they've achieved. Over the last few years, we've doubled the number of graduates. We're now producing the highest level of teaching outcomes. We're producing the highest level of award-winning students. For instance, our graduates are competing at the highest possible level for things like Fulbright scholarships. Of the 1,000 schools or so that compete for that, the students of this faculty were awarded the fifth highest number of awards by the Fulbright scholarships this year. It's a tremendous achievement. This same faculty will break $400 million in funded research this year. And for those of you in the audience and for many students that you don't really know what that means, but let me put that into perspective. I just pulled up a list earlier today. For research expenditures among institutions without medical schools, of which there are 765 in the United States receiving funding, ASU is 17th, ahead of Princeton and Carnegie Mellon. For non-science and engineering total research expenditures among all universities in the country, we are 19th, ahead of Vanderbilt and MIT. In the social sciences, total research expenditures at ASU, of the 912 universities receiving funding, we are 8th, ahead of Cornell, Harvard, Stanford, Columbia, and Duke. This is what this faculty can do. In the humanities, total research expenditures out of 912 measured schools, we're 14th, ahead of Berkeley, Ohio State, and the University of Maryland. Yep. And from the most prestigious of the funding agencies of the American government, the National Science Foundation, our faculty received more grants, ranked 21st, received more grants than Carnegie Mellon or Harvard in terms of their total funding. So this faculty has the capacity to deal with a broad student body, large in numbers across hundreds of degree programs, and perform at the level of scholarship above and beyond even what are perceived to be the greatest universities in the country. This faculty has done a tremendous job. I'd like all of us to thank the faculty of Arizona State University. Thank you. Now in the audience, we have a number of people that helped each of you to be here as graduates. I'd like everyone in the audience, or even some of our students or folks up here on the platform, if you've been a teacher from kindergarten through high school, I'd like you to stand so you can be thanked by our students for preparing them to come to this university. So teachers would please stand. And no one gets here, no matter what you think, no matter if you had big arguments with your parents last week or today, none of you are here on your own, so I'd like all our graduates to stand and thank their families and friends that are here. So I've got one last lesson, a very quick lesson. Most of you do not think of yourself as privileged. All of you are privileged to be sitting here. You've been supported by your families, you've been supported by this university, you've been supported by this state, many of you have been supported by millions of citizens from around the United States who support the cost of your education. You are privileged. You are privileged. So I have one last instruction. When you go out into the world, don't listen to the complainers, don't become a complainer. Stop complaining and start solving the problem. Congratulations.
Thank you, President Crow. Senior Vice President and Secretary of the University and President of the ASU Alumni Association, Dr. Christine Wilkinson.